1870 11,000 plus 37.5%. 1889 25,000 plus 127.3%. 1911 25,000 plus 0.0%. 1927 17,000 32.0%. 1935 23,000 plus 35.3%. 1940 25,000 plus 8.7%. 1945 26,000 plus 4.0%. 1950 28,000 plus 7.7%. 1955 36,000 plus 28.6%. 1960 51,000 plus 41.7%. 1965 72,000 plus 41.2%. 1970 95,000 plus 31.9%. 1985 258,139 plus 171.7%. 1990 378,208 plus 46.5%. 2000 603,190 plus 59.5%. 2007 775,157 plus 28.5%. 2010 1,001,318 plus 29.2%. 2024 1,508,134 plus 50.6%. Economy, edit. Agricultural production includes citrus fruits, cotton, cut flowers, olives, olive oil and bananas. Antalya metropolitan municipalities covered wholesale food market complex meets 65% of the fresh fruit and vegetable demand of the province. Since 2000, shipyards have been opened in Antalya Free Zone, specialized in building pleasure yachts. Some of these yachts have advanced in composites boat building technology. Corendon Airlines and Sun Express are headquartered in Antalya. Antalya is one of the Mediterranean's leading tourism destinations, the city being home to an array of famous attractions. In 2012, it was reported it attracted 30% of foreign tourists visiting Turkey. In 2022, Antalya received 13.4 million foreign tourists by air. Cityscape, edit. Despite having architectural heritage dating back up to Hellenistic times, most historical architecture in Antalya date to the medieval Seljuk period, with a number of mosques, madrasas, masjids, caravanserai, Turkish baths and tombs giving the city a Turkish Islamic character. Historical architecture is concentrated in the walled city, Kalayasai. Ancient structures are not well preserved in the rest of the city of Antalya as the modern city was built on the ancient city. Kalayasai, with its narrow cobbled streets of historic Ottoman-era houses, is the old center of Antalya. With its hotels, bars, clubs, restaurants, and shopping, it has been restored to retain much of its historical character. It is surrounded by two walls in the shape of a horse nail, one of which is along the seafront, built in a continuous process from Hellenistic to Ottoman times. The historical harbor is located in this part of the city. Narrow streets extend from the harbor and branch off into the old city, surrounded by wooden historical houses. Cumhuriyet Square, the main square of the city and a spot very popular for tourists and locals, is surrounded by shopping and business centers and public buildings. There are sites with traces of Hellenistic, Roman, Byzantine, and Seljuk architecture and cultures. There are also examples of the local Greek architecture in the city, with 5 Greek Orthodox churches in the old city. A panoramic view from Karolyiolu Park with historic HDRLK Tower. The walled city is surrounded by a large metropolitan area. With high rates of immigration since the 1970s, this area contains large secondary neighborhoods that are not well integrated into the fabric of the city and suffer from poor economic conditions and insufficient education. Secondary areas are concentrated in the Kepez district, where an estimated 70% of the houses were secondus in 2008. In 2011, it was estimated that there were 60,000 secondus in Antalya, housing around 250,000 people. Antalya has beaches including Konya, Lara and Karpuz Kaldran. Baydala and Saklikant are used for winter sports. Historic sites in the city center, edit. One ancient monuments include the city walls, HDRLK Tower, Hadrian's Gate, also known as Triple Gate, and the Clock Tower. 2 Hadrian's Gate, constructed in the 2nd century by the Romans in honor of the Emperor Hadrian. 3 Skell Mosque, a 19th century mosque near the marina. 4 Karate Midas, a Midas, Islamic Theological Seminary, built in 1250 by Emir Kelaledin Karate. 5 Kizik Minaria, broken minaret, mosque, once a Roman temple then converted to a Byzantine Panaia church and finally into a mosque. 6 Tekelai Mehmet Paşa Mosque, an 18th century mosque built in honor of Tekelai Mehmet Paşa. 7 Yate Liman, the harbor dating to Roman era. 8 Yavli Minaria, fluted minaret, mosque, built by the Seljuks and decorated with dark blue and turquoise tiles. This minaret eventually became the symbol of the city. 9 Murat Pasha Mosque, a historic Ottoman mosque located in the city center. 10 Oya Yorjai Church, St. George Church, a historic church built by the Greeks of Antalya which is currently used as a museum housing exhibitions of historical artifacts. 11 St. Alypius Church, a tiny historic Greek Orthodox church which is still currently a functioning Orthodox church. 12 Sultan Aladdin Mosque, a historic building built as a Greek Orthodox church in 1834 and converted into a mosque in the 1950s and currently used as a mosque. 13. Ahi Yusuf Mosque, a historic mosque built in the year of 1249 and is possibly one of the oldest mosques in Antalya or even the oldest. 14 Ahi Kizi Masjid, historic masjid located in the old town. 15 Karamolla Masjid, tiny historic masjid built in the 14th century. 16 Balabay Mosque, a historic mosque built by the Vizier Bali Pasha. 17 Muselim Mosque, a small historic mosque built by Hak Osmanoglu Mehmed Ağa in 1796. 18 Antalya Synagogue, a historic synagogue used as house currently in the Borbi neighborhood between Kavakli Masjid and the Borbi Kazikh Minaret Mosque. 19 Mevlevihain, Dervish Lodge Museum, a former Dervish Lodge housing a museum about dervishes and Sufism. 1. Hadrian's Gate. 2. Yavli Minaria. 3. HDRLK Tower. 4. Antalya Karate Midas. 5. Kazikh Minaria. Main sites, edit. 1 Akdeniz Kent Park. 2 Antalya Aquarium. 3 Arab Su Bridge. 4 Atatürk Culture Park, formerly named after Hasan Sabah. 5 Duden Waterfalls. 6 Heart of Antalya. 7 Karolyiolu Park. 8 Konyaaltı Beach. 9 Tunektep. Green areas, recreation places, edit. There are urban parks and protected natural areas located outside the cities, allowing the people to have fun, rest and get closer to nature. Some of them are green areas around lake, pond and dam lakes, and some are highland and forest areas. The prime urban green areas include Antalya City Forest, Atatürk Park, Kepez City Forest. The largest amusement park in Antalya is the Akta Park. Other modern recreational areas include 3 aquaparks in the city, Konuout, Lara Beaches, Beach Park especially for summer holidays, while Sakal-Kent also has facilities for skiing in the winter months. The preserved nature areas include Guluk Mountain National Park in Antalya, Kakutli Highway, Mount Olympus National Park in Kima, and Duden and Kursunlu waterfalls. Other protected areas include the Damlators and the Karain Cave and the Gover Cliff. It offers picnic and recreation facilities in various parts of the city. Picnic areas, rafting facilities in Koprulu Canyon in Manavgat. The part of Kakutli Antalya border in western part of Antalya is covered with forests. In these areas, picnic areas, playground, restaurant and similar facilities are provided. There are lake and forest views on the promenade at Fislikan Plateau to the west of the city center, where visitors can also enjoy nature sports and nature walks. The oil wrestling competition festival organized in summer, was accompanied with concerts. The pond in Doiran town, located to the west of city, is very suitable for picnic and fishing. In addition to the open-air recreation areas, the number of shopping centers, which have increased rapidly in recent years, can also be classified as a rest area with the facilities they offer. The shopping centers in the city are gathered in the center. Among the leading shopping centers in the city are Antalya 5M Migros, Antalya Kai Park, Terra City, Depot, Agora, and Mall of Antalya. Government, edit. The mayor of the Antalya Metropolitan Municipality is Muhyiddin Bask of the CHP, in office since 2019. For general elections, Antalya elects 18 members of parliament to the Turkish Grand National Assembly. Elections, edit. Antalya has traditionally been seen as a stronghold for the Kemalist centre-left party Republican People's Party, CHP. Being the capital of the 5th most populous province in Turkey, Antalya is politically strategic and has been a target for the governing right-wing Justice and Development Party, AKP. The AKP unexpectedly won control of the Antalya Metropolitan Municipality in the 2004 local election. The AKP won a plurality in Antalya in the 2007 general election, symbolizing the city's political transformation from a CHP stronghold to a CHP-AKP marginal battleground in the 21st century. The loss of Antalya was a major political setback for the CHP, not only because of its significance as a center for tourism, but also because the CHP's former leader Deniz Baykal is a member of parliament for the province. The province is divided into 19 districts. The CHP regained control of the metropolitan municipality in the 2009 local elections, though the AKP won a plurality in the 2011 general election. The Nationalist Movement Party, MHP, also have a strong political base in Antalya, winning approximately between 15 and 25% of the vote in elections since 2007. The city voted in favor of the AKP government's proposed constitutional reforms in the 2007 referendum, but voted against the reforms proposed in 2010. In the 2014 local elections, Antalya once again voted for the AKP, with the MHP taking support away from the CHP by winning a record 24.3% of the vote. The CHP subsequently accused the AKP of systematic electoral fraud, and the presence of government minister Mevlut Avuloglu at one of the vote-counting centers drew strong condemnation. In the 2014 presidential election, The CHP and MHP's joint candidate Ekmilvin Sarnoğlu won 53.08% of the vote. The AKP's candidate Recep Tayyip Erdoğan won 41.63% of the vote, and the HDP Democratic Socialist candidate Selahattin Demirtas won 5.30% of the vote. Antalya was a hotspot for the 2013-14 anti-government protests against the AKP. The secular main opposition, CHP, regained control of the metropolitan municipality in the 2019 local elections. Sports, edit. The football club of Antalya, Antalyaspor, plays in the Super League. The team's home venue is Antalya Stadium, with a capacity of 33,000, which was opened in 2015. Another football venue in the city is Antalya Atatürk Stadium. The city hosts a number of international sports competitions due to its longer-lasting warm weather condition. Since 2006, one of the 4 stages of Archery World Cup events are held at the Antalya Centennial Archery Field. It also hosted European Weightlifting Championship in 2012. European Beach Volleyball Championship in 2003, European Triathlon Championship in 2013 and World Kickboxing Championships in 2013. Since 2010, an international multi-day trail running ultramarathon, called Lycian Way Ultramarathon, is held on the historical Lycian Way. The event runs eastward on a route of around 220-240 km, 140-150 mi, from Aludeniz in Fethiye district of Muğla province to Antalya in 6 days. Education, edit. Akdeniz University enrolls over 60,000 students and 4,000 academic and administrative staff. Culture, edit. Cuisine, edit. Antalya's signature cuisine includes peas, made with tahini, garlic, walnuts, and boiled beans, siskoft, spicy meatball which is cooked around a stick, spicy hypes with mixed cumin and tahini, tanned kebab, domates sivsai, saksuka, and various cold Mediterranean dishes with olive oil. One local speciality is termis, boiled seeds of the lupin, eaten as a snack. Grider, also known as Lagos or Mediterranean white grouper, is a fish common in local dishes. Festivals and events, edit. 1 Antalya Golden Orange Film Festival, National Film Festival usually held in September/October. 2 Kalayasai Old Town Festival, organized by Murapesa Municipality, held in October. 3 Miss Aura International in the venue of Aura Klema Club. 4 Sandland, Sand Art Festival at Lara Beach. Museums, edit. 1 Antalya Ethnographic Museum, located in Kalayasai, housing artifacts of Antalya's culture, regional dress, and architectural examples. 2 Antalya Museum. 3 Antalya Toy Museum. The Antalya Metropolitan Municipality opened the exhibition facility in 2011. 4 Atatürk's House Museum. 5 Bir Zamanlar Antalya Müzesi, located in Dokume Park, Kepez. Serving artifacts and documents about contemporary urban history of Antalya. 6 Kalayasai Museum, opened in 2007 by the Mediterranean Civilizations Research Center, Akdeniz Medeniyetleri Araştırma Merkezi. 7 Kepez Araba Müzesi, located in Dokume Park, serving historical vehicles in contemporary history. 8 Kepez Open Air Museum, serving scale models of various structures of Turkey. The models were located in Mina City Park in Konya before the demolition of Park in late 2010 and moving to current location in Dokume Park. 9 Mevlevihain Museum, former dervish lodge with Sufi and Islamic cultural artifacts. 10 Suna and Nan Kra Museum, an ethnographic museum run by the Suna and Nan Kra Foundation. Transportation, edit. The main transportation to the city is by air and land. Sea routes are still under development. In 2007, the airport added a new terminal. The city has a main port at the south of the Bout. Road transport in the city is estimated by Climate Trace to have emitted over 1 million tons of carbon dioxide in 2023. Buses, edit. There is a network of look-alike domuses that are privately owned and operated minibuses, under municipal government control. Antalya Ulam, a municipally owned corporation, runs the public bus system. The corporation owns Antobus and Antre. Antobus was started in September 2010. In 2010, the city planned to increase from 40 to 140 more buses. Payment for public transportation was made in cash until the launch of a public transportation card, ANCAT, in late 2007. The card system met with criticism and was subsequently cancelled in June 2009, returning to a cash system. Card has been used for the transportation system since the summer of 2010. Card is managed by Kent Smart City Technologies under the control of Antalya Metropolitan Municipal Government. Passengers can use identified cards to take buses or trams. Light rail, edit. Main article, Antalya trams. A tram system, opened in 1999, runs from Antalya Museum, and the Sheraton Voyager and Falaise hotels, along the main boulevard through the city centre at Kalekapisi, Hadrian's Gate, Karolya Park, and ending at Talya Otli. Trams depart on the hour-and-a-half hour from the terminal, east and west, and reach Kalekapisi between 10 and 15 minutes later. In December 2009, an 11.1 kilometer, 6.9 mi, light rail line Antre was opened from one of the main city public bus hubs northwest to beyond suburban areas and the zoo. An extension to airport, Aksu and Expo 2016 site was completed in 2016. Major routes, edit. Antalya is the southern terminus of European Route E87, which connects to Kukutli, Denizli, Izmir, Çanakkale, Edirne in Turkey, along with Varna in Bulgaria, Constanta in Romania and Odessa in Ukraine. Antalya is also the terminus of Turkish Highway D650, which connects Burdur, Afyon, Kütahya, and Sakarya. D400 connects with D650 in Antalya, while D650 alternative D685 connects to Isparta and Provincial Road 07-50 connects to Kumluca by Ortnyuka, an alternative to D400. Airport, edit. Antalya Airport has 2 international terminals and 1 domestic terminal. In 2020, its number of passengers on international flights surpassed the total number at Istanbul Airport and Sabiha Gökçen International Airport for the first time, officially earning the title of the capital of Turkish tourism. International relations, edit. See also, list of twin towns and sister cities in Turkey. Antalya is twinned with 1 Austin, United States. 2 Famagusta, Northern Cyprus. 3 Haifa, China. 4 Jeonju, South Korea. 5 Kazan, Russia. 6 Kunming, China. 7 Luan, Guangzhou, China. 8 Miami, United States. 9 Mostar, Bosnia and Herzegovina. 10 Nuremberg, Germany. 11 Omsk, Russia. 12 Qingdao, China. 13 Rostov-on-Don, Russia. 14 Seville, Spain. 15 Suncheon, South Korea. 16 Taldykorgan, Kazakhstan. 17 Urumqi, China. 18 Vladimir, Russia. 19 Chining, China. 20 Yalta, Ukraine. Notable people, edit. 1 Tarka Gultopyu, architect, historian, poet, writer. 2 Kafakan Aksu, football player. 3 Athena Uz of Antalya, physician and founder of the Pneumatist School of Medicine, 1st century AD. 4 Michael Attaliates, Byzantine lawyer of the 11th century. 5 Attalus II, Philadelphus king of Pergamon and the founder of Antalya. 6 Deniz Baykal, former leader of Republican People's Party. 7 Yamasagl, musician, composer of manga. 8 Amit Sendil, music producer, remixer and DJ. 9 Amit Sanyuk, video game streamer known as Jarin. 10 Musa Uzunla, actor. 11 Burak Yilmaz, football player. 12 Levent Yüksel, musician, composer. Notes, edit. 1 Carat